Alright, what is up everybody? This is Brian with the Mustard and Mayo, and this will be my first road review video that I have done in several years. If you've watched my last couple videos, you've seen there's been a lot of updates with the fleet, and you now know that I have a 2014 BMW 320i, an F30 with the N20 turbo 4-cylinder, not making all of the power that the F30 chassis is known for, but it makes just enough. But I think it's perfect for this. So where we are today, this is Highway 215, and I actually just jumped on from the Blue Ridge Parkway. We are heading south towards the Rosman or Balsam Grove area of things. Now, this road I would kind of break up into three different sections. You have one section that is furthest north from the parkway, and that would be where if you want to maybe connect 215 to go towards Canton or Waynesville, that would be a great option or way to do that. And then you have this kind of upper portion where we are right now. We're actually going downhill from the parkway, and this is kind of the more faster wide open section. It has a lot more sweepers. If you can see right here, we've got these rock walls, and during the winter time they're usually just covered with ice. Now it's beginning of March, so the ice is beginning to melt, but usually in the dead part of winter where it's the coldest and we get snow and all that kind of stuff, you can oftentimes see people, at least I've seen people ice climbing up on that. Now during the summertime and the warmer months, you'll still see other people rock climbing and doing things like that, but still a pretty cool thing. This is a road that I really enjoy both directions, although I think my favorite way is to actually go the opposite direction of how we're going now. That is to go from Highway 64 or from the Rosman, Balsam Grove area and actually take that route north. I've always loved uphills. Right now, with this being kind of on the faster downhill section, depending on what speed you're actually trying to take this at, it can be a pretty nerve-wracking drive just because of how fast it can actually get if you let it go that way. But at the lower section where it's a lot more flatter, that's kind of that third section that is honestly my favorite. It's just really tight. It's kind of uphill and downhill. There's not any crazy steep uphill moments like maybe 276 or 151 or something like that, but it's just so much fun. It kind of reminds me of like a smaller version of the Tail of the Dragon, just because of the way it kind of kinks left and kinks right all the time. It definitely keeps you on your toes. It's maybe only 2 or 3 miles, maybe 4 or 5 miles tops of that most southern porch section. But I absolutely love it. Now, if you're trying to talk about different ways to get to this road, because now we're actually behind some traffic, the best ways to get here are, if you're coming from Asheville, you can obviously just jump on the Blue Ridge Parkway if you're just trying to get straight to here, or if you want to come through Brevard, that's usually my favorite way to go, just because there's all the other roads around Brevard. There's the both halves of 276. You also have of course 215, you've got 178, which I'm going to drive today as well. I probably won't review today, but I'll be driving it today anyway. But realistically, my favorite thing to do is to connect all 4 of those roads, both halves of 276, 215, and 178, and actually connect them all into what, a lot of us maybe call the Carolina Loop. There's a lot of different names that people have given it. I don't know if really one is stuck, but it's a good solid, if you're just driving on your own, it's a good maybe 4 or 5 hours. It actually takes you all the way down to South Carolina. And then of course you got this section here, so you'll get on the parkway. So a lot of people will do that if you're maybe coming from South Carolina, like from the upstate in the Greenville area, because you can jump on 276 at Caesar's Head. You can take that all the way up the mountain, past Caesar's Head State Park, past Pretty Place, take that all the way into Brevard, connect on a couple of the side roads or come through downtown, go over to the Pisgah National Forest where you've got Highway 276 there, take that all the way up past Looking Glass Falls, past the Pink Beds, past the Cradle Forestry, all of that, and take that all the way up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. And then if you want to, you can take 276 all the way to 215, and then take that way, or because I do like that section of road, but there's a lot of dead areas, there's a lot of there's a lot of houses and things like that. So if you just want to take the shortcut, just hop on the Blue Ridge Parkway, go on the south part of the Blue Ridge Parkway, which would be a left if you're coming off of Highway 276. Take that all the way to meet 215. You've got some other cool look-offs you can stop at. There's more rock walls, there's views. You can see, what is it, Devil's Courthouse that's an excellent place to stop and check things out. Good, easy little hike to go to the top. Really good views on top of a rock fall. So pretty neat there. So that's kind of the best ways to get here. Now, if you're coming from the western side of things, maybe you're coming from Franklin, or maybe coming from the tail of the Dragon, then you're probably just going to come in Highway 64. That would be probably the best way, unless you're just coming in off of the highway like 1923, something like that. But Highway 64 is where this road will eventually run into. So very easy to connect to from there. 64 runs all the way from Franklin. I mean, 64 runs all over the state, but really goes all the way from the west part where Franklin is, and just about where Robbinsville is, and Murphy and all that area. You can take it all the way in. So that's another way, or you can jump off of 1923 on the north side of things, come in through Waynesville or Canton, and kind of start there. So that's kind of all the different ways you can get here. This is definitely one of my favorite roads. It's one of the longer ones. And I think I'll probably go ahead and take a pause here and figure out what's going on with this traffic. We'll jump right back here in a minute. All right, so let's see if we gave that enough time. As I was saying, with the 3 sections on this road, the north portion is the wide open kind of section. It's much more high-speed corners, if you will. As I was saying earlier, it's kind of a dangerous spot to be if you're taking it at the too fast, or if you're not paying attention maybe to conditions. If it's a little bit wet out, maybe just rained, that happens a lot during the summertime, because some of these, like right here, some of these kind of decreasing radius corners can just kind of sneak up on you somewhere, especially when you're going downhill. Lots of fun though. Road there. So where we actually are, what makes a lot of these mountain roads so good is that most of them honestly follow rivers and creeks, which is why they have such a natural, you know, smooth flow going on with them. Right now we just crossed over, I think for at least the second time, whatever creek this is right here, and I have no clue what it is though, looking at the map. There is some camping, there is an RV park down through here, tons of hiking. Even if you're not out here for mountain driving, there's all kinds of forestry roads where you can connect things. There seems to be some sort of fish hatchery or maybe something here. Now from where we are right now, this is usually the section that you just kind of, you know, relax things out. You're right here at the bottom of the mountain. So we'll have several miles where things are flat. You can see there's actually some passing lanes and stuff like that right here. But pretty boring stuff. So we'll actually cut to a few miles down the road when things pick back up. All right, so we are starting to kind of unwind ourselves back into the fun parts of 215. Right past where we just were, actually, there is a really nice hike, and for the life of me, again, I'm not going to know the name of the waterfall. I just know that I've been there before. It's a really gorgeous little, I don't know if you want to call it a little gap or a canyon or a cut where the water comes through, but it's really cool. Definitely worth checking out. I think there was like a Christian retreat there called Living Waters, and you take a little hike down there, and that's where it's at. So pretty cool. course we hit traffic again. Same traffic as earlier too. Oh my gosh. This is the only thing that sucks about driving around in the mountains is it used to be a lot more fun, and now you've got everybody and their mother starting to move out here. Not near as exciting as it used to be. The best times to be out here, realistically, is like early in the morning, maybe late at night. Sometimes you get lucky in the summertime, but you can see it's March and we've hit traffic twice now. Of course, same car. God, it's so slow. Oh, I love this section of road too. We'll see if we can. Maybe they'll pull off, or maybe we'll just have to pull off and wait again. Mud hole there. Oh, I love this section of road right here. Oh. Oh. All right, we'll sit here for a minute, do our thing, let them get ahead, and I'm sure we'll catch right back up. Meanwhile, we'll pay attention behind us and make sure nobody's coming. All right, I think that might be enough. We'll see if we can catch them right at the end, but this is honestly my favorite part of the road, so I'd love to be able to actually enjoy this section. Now that truck right there just actually reminded me of a couple things, that since this road is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, it's a very rural part of town, you're going to run into a lot of people that lane cut. So you just got to watch that for trucks, and don't be one of the ones that's also lane cutting. Sunglasses back on. Golly. Let's do that real quick. The sun's just killing me. Favorite corners here. Quick right, quick left. A little crack in the pavement, you can kind of hook your tires on. Gosh, I love this car. Oh, see what I was talking about lane cutting? That was pretty close. Now it is pretty tight on this road, so if you're not paying attention, you can also be one of the lane cutters. So it's pretty narrow. The shoulder pretty much isn't there. Most of this, the shoulder is the white line, so you can't really trust your inside line to really give you a whole lot of space or room, peace of mind at all. A little bit of downhill section here. Nothing too steep, not like before at least. A little bit of second and third gear action. Well, we caught up with our buddy here. Which I kind of figured was going to happen, honestly. Such a good section of road too. I'll have to come back the other way and just do a single GoPro video. Just see if I can get a run uninterrupted, at least on this lower section. Again, this is the section that I just absolutely love. It's my favorite. It's super tight. You got to be very on your toes. You got really, like right here, I mean, if you're not paying attention, you could sideswipe that guardrail there. I don't know, I seem to kind of like it when it's a little sketchy. Well, the good news is, I mean, I could stop again, but we're pretty much at the bottom of the mountain. It flattens out right here. There's maybe a mile left of this road before it actually ends right at Highway 64, as I was saying earlier. So if you were doing the Carolina Loop and you were going this way and you were heading to 178 next, what you'd want to do is you'd actually want to hook a left on 64, and then you can pretty much follow signs for 178 as it kind of passes through Rosman. There's plenty of gas stations there. There's I don't know if there's like fast food or anything in Rosman anymore, but you do have a couple diners, a couple restaurants, things like that. So plenty of places to stock up on supplies, fuel, get some smokes, use a restroom, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is, again, has been the first video back on the channel. Hope this was good for everybody. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of these in the future. And if you go back through and see what videos that I have or haven't done so far, I would love to hear some suggestions of any roads that are in preferably Western North Carolina, but if there's anything maybe in Eastern Tennessee or maybe Southwestern Virginia, something like that, I'd be more than happy to check that out and do a review of it as well. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.